This is the Relevant Podcast.
It's episode 1189, and it's a Relevant Podcast here in Orlando. I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and joining me from Loverland, Virginia, it's Jesse Carey.
Hello, hello.
From Nashville, artist, producer, mogul, Derek Miner. He's back.
What's happening? What's happening?
We missed you last few shows. And right down the street there in Nashville, our managing editor, downtown Emily Brown.
Hey, y'all.
Jesse, you don't know this, but before you came on, Emily and Derek were lamenting. Emily's had a stressful morning because she had to drop off friends at the airport at 7 a.m. First of all, you're an adult. You don't do that anymore. Okay.
No, absolutely.
But because she said yes.
Take an Uber.
Because she said yes. Exactly. We're all adults. We can afford an Uber.
No.
But because she said yes, because her friends walk all over her and take advantage of her generosity, she got stuck in Nashville traffic all morning. So she's stressed out. So I'm just saying, I need you to give her some life advice that now that she's 29 years old, that she won't listen to me, that there's a line now that you can just tell your friends to take an Uber. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Well,
my friends already know.
Don't
Uber,
ask.
It's Uber time, bruh.
I gotta be honest. I'm kind of an airport move guy.
You're not.
Yes.
I am. If someone's like, "Yo, hey, I need to be picked up," or I need help moving something, or but here's the thing, I ask in return too. Like, I have buddies that are pretty handy. Like one time Dana was out of town and I had to reinstall a light fixture and I got way over my skis. Okay. I got the fuse box all, I was very nervous about starting an electrical fire. I call one of my buddies who knows what he's doing, came right over, but he knows if he needs to be scooped up from the air. Now, I will say this. I live very close to the airport. So I think that's a factor as well.
But two factors here for Emily's situation is I agree it's a golden rule situation. It's a do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. So I don't want to be asked to help you move. So I'm not going to ask you to help me move. I get that. Yeah. I would say that to Emily. She would probably say, oh, but if I asked them to pick me up or take me to the airport, they would. The problem is, if you dig into her life situation, all of her friends ask her to do stuff for them, and she doesn't impose on her friends.
Emily's friends getting exposed on the internet.
I'm just saying, she gets walked all
I'm just
over.
saying this, is that I don't even take my wife to the airport. Like, she catch an Uber.
I will come take your wife to the airport.
No. She catch an Uber. Like, because she gonna catch the flight that's at 6 a.m. and it's like, babe, look, she don't take me either. Now, we will pick each other up from the airport.
Yeah. What is the difference? I agree with you. There's a difference of picking up versus dropping off. I don't get that, but it's different.
The dropping off thing it's because usually when you're picking up, it's what, 9 o'clock. At the latest, maybe 10:30. That's cool. I'll come get you at 10:30. But I'm not getting up at 4 a.m. Like, it's just we're not doing that.
There's time restraints on it. You know what I mean? Like,
I will say I did wake up early.
Exactly.
Than I normally do. But okay, to clarify, so they are they're new parents. They're traveling with their 6-week-old baby for the first time.
Ubers.
So they're already really well, they had so much stuff though that they had to bring.
You got a car seat involved at that point.
Yeah.
But you have a car seat for the plane. Car seat for the plane. You got a car seat. But again,
they're newborn parents. They're trying to save money, and I get that. And so,
you know how you save money if you're newborn parents? Don't travel on a vacation. I'm just saying.
Well, their family, they haven't seen their family. Like the grandparents.
If you can't afford the Uber to the airport, you can't afford the trip. That's all I'm saying.
They probably could have, but it worked out because I'm flying at the end of this month. They get back the day before my trip at the end of the month. Mm-hmm. So I'll pick them up from the airport, and then the next day they're taking me. So they are doing this, so it's fine. And I also want to say, I think that acts of service is just my love language. Like, so I don't mind doing that. Like, because you're talking about the fact that I will bring my friends meals, but again, after they've the week after they've had a baby, I'll come bring them a meal.
That's
something
nice.
like that.
That's nice.
You're the sweetest person on the planet, Emily.
Thank you.
You are the sweetest person on the planet, for sure.
There's an easy solution for this, though. If you don't want to say no, I have a buddy that helped me move. I mean, this is years ago, and I'm never asking him to do it again. because he at one point we were moving from the U-Haul into the house and it started raining, and I'm like, guys, let's just go in, because other moving protocol there's always pizza, right? Like, let's just go in and take our pizza break now, wait for the rain to clear. He's like, no dude, we can do this. He grabs all the couch cushions. Like, you ever seen someone like at a church startup where they have fold up chairs and you got to move them out of the auditorium
youth group.
after?
You got to impress all the youth group girls by how many chairs you can pick up.
That's my dude. That's my dude with like a sectional couch, and he's got all the cushions. Okay, and he's running through the rain, and he trips and falls in the yard. And all the sectional couch cushions fall into the mud. And then he's just scrambling, trying to get them. I'll tell you what, I'm never asking him to move again. You do a bad job one time, you never get asked again. You show up late to the airport or like miss the exit or something. Guess what?
Tank
You're never getting asked again. You know?
I like this strategy.
Tank the acts of service. So look, I'll just keep it honest. You just need, really, I believe you just need some black excuses. Like black people will make an excuse out of everything. Like if you're ever on the phone with a black person too long, just listen to the excuse. Like, hey, I'm about to get off. I'm about to go get off. I gotta take the trash out right quick. You got on AirPods. Hey man. So just look, black people, what I've learned with the homies is anything can be an excuse. So it's like, hey, can you come take me to the airport in the morning? Man, I really wish I could, but I got to go to work in the evening. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you just hit them with one of them. That's it. You like, well, in the evening,
I got a dentist.
I do
got a dentist appointment next week.
Get ready for. I got a dentist appointment. You like, oh, so I don't know if that's a black excuse or maybe it's just my homies are just very like. They be finessing me. They don't want to help me at all. That could be it. Maybe I have the opposite issue. Maybe I need more friends like Emily. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
I'll come take you and your wife to the airport. It would be my honor.
I appreciate it.
My justice side is when I see Emily getting taken advantage of because she's so kind-hearted, I want to fight back for her. That's all I'm saying.
I'm really concerned that you consider friendship acts of service as being taken advantage of. Let's actually dig into that one.
I'll
buy dinner. I will happily buy dinner for all my friends, but I ain't going to drive you to the airport. So
I'll say this: my dude asked me to return the favor. And this is like last summer when he moved. Okay, like a decade had gone by since the couch
years
cushion
later.
Yeah, this was like 10 years later.
There's a statute of limitations on helping somebody move.
Hey man, I need help, but he's like, I got all the little stuff. I just need an extra set of arms to get the big stuff out, right? And he back in the day was like a big as seen on TV guy. Like anything cool he would see on TV, he'd order it. And now he's like he's like the Instagram ad guy. Whenever he sees like a cool thing on Instagram, he just buys it, right? He was like, dude, I was trying to figure out ways to make this move easier, and I bought these straps. And they are these yellow straps that go around your neck, okay? And like, I'm sure you can find pictures of them, but they both go around two people's necks, and you put like the appliance on it and it distributes the weight. Emily, you've seen these, right?
Yes, I have seen them.
Yeah, I have too. Yeah.
Okay. His washer and dryer are on the second floor. Okay.
Oh, no.
And his stairs are like the kind that go back and forth a little. You know what I mean? It's not just straight up. As we're walking, I'm like on the top, and I'm like, I realized if he trips and falls, I have a washing machine strapped around my neck. I witnessed this man. Drop couch cushions. Okay,
hey, get away, Jesse, get away.
He couldn't handle
professionals.
They're professionals.
He could not handle couch cushions, and I got a washing machine strapped on against my neck, and I'm trusting him that this is not the history. He's not going to repeat himself. I remember having that thought, like, this could be horrific. If one misstep and this could all goes wrong. But,
Jesse, you got to get away, bro. I'd be like, nah, homie, we ain't doing that. We got to find another way. We got a dolly.
Moving is the one thing that I will always find an excuse to do because I hate moving. But I will, like, last year, I flew from Nashville to Austin, drove with my friend from Austin to Chicago in the U-Haul. That was as far as I did. But I did tell her, I was like, you better hire movers for like actually moving the stuff in and out. I'm in for the road trip part of it. And she agreed to that.
Look, I promise this was one of the all-time worst moves. Not only was it upstairs washer and dryer, we had a wardrobe and a piano in the mix.
Piano? They have piano movers because those
Who
are.
is this guy?
Oh man,
Who would move a piano
work.
and appliances and ask his friends to do it?
That's
is
crazy
insanity.
work. That's crazy work.
We did it. We did it.
You got taken advantage of.
Yes,
That's
you
what
did.
happened in that moment.
Why am I surrounded by such kind-hearted people? What does that say about me? That all of you are my
I think that
friends.
says more about you than it does about us.
If you're
Interesting.
ranking stuff you don't want to move, I think number one is aquarium, right? Like, but number two,
No,
I
you
think
empty it out. You don't move it full.
What do you do with the fish?
You put the fish in little baggies like they do when you buy them from the store.
No, they're too delicate. They're too delicate. You'd kill half of them. I'm talking. No, it's a pain, right? Like number one off the board is no one wants to move an aquarium. Okay?
Oh my gosh.
Number two, I think is piano. If I'm doing rankings
100%.
right now.
That's why they have professionals.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it real. I got a little small 10-gallon aquarium, and I just if I move, I'm just gonna ask the people, do they want fish? Like, do you want to just keep some fish? Like,
I have a 55-gallon saltwater aquarium, and I want to upgrade to like a 90 or 120. Like I want to go deeper.
you want the big boy?
Yeah. But not huge, but like bigger. You know, like I got space for it, and
Okay.
I've literally not done it because I don't know how to move this aquarium to then put the new aquarium in its spot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I can't move this thing. It's full of rocks and water and stuff. Like I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
And them joints are, well, you don't know how much 10 gallons of water, how heavy that is.
Right.
That is heavy. So 50 gallons of water, bro. Oh my goodness.
I know. So I'd say I haven't upgraded. This is like the one impulse buy that I want to do and I can't. I don't know how. Anyway.
Well, just don't ask for help moving that. I will say people get weird while they're moving too. I remember one time, like a guy at our church growing up and I didn't even know the guy, right? But I was like a teenager, and my dad knew him, and he's like, "Hey, the whole church is pitching in. I need you and one of your buddies to go over to this guy's house, help him move." Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's been the
it was
whole
like,
church but me.
and they're like, "Don't worry, it won't take." It's many hands make light work. And a bunch of people. There's like 5 of us. Okay, and I don't even know the guy. And he wasn't even helping moving. He was just directing traffic.
Oh no!
You know what I mean?
Oh no!
And he was one of these guys. I'm moving like every time a piece of furniture that we're moving would like touch the door frame, or it was like every piece of furniture was an extension of his body because he was like, "Wow, wow, 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 watch your guys, wow, 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 wow." You would have thought I was like landing on his feet. It was just furniture touching walls. Don't be that guy if your friends are helping you move. You just got to go with the flow here. Doors are going to get scratched.
Last time I helped a friend move was this girl that I liked, and there was a bunch of friends going to help out. And we all got there around 11 in the morning, and around 3:34, like all the guys hit a wall. They started coming up with excuses. Oh, I got to go to this. I got to go to that. Everybody left. So it was just me moving by myself, her stuff until 1 in the morning. And so I was like, that's it. I'm done with this. Life is too short. I'm not spending my day doing this.
Side note. So I got 2 side notes. One, I want to give a shout out to Kevin Steinhardt.
Come on,
He
Kevin.
sent me a shirt. You want to know what this shirt says? And I think I'm going to buy it. It says defund the HOA. and I just want to publicly shout out my homeboy Kevin because we had a little conversation. And thank you for being a listener to Relevant Pod, but also thank you for sending me that. I think I'm going to buy that.
That's funny.
2, did I ever tell y'all how I met my wife?
No.
All right. This is how I met my wife. So we're downtown. It's college dropout, Kanye West concert, maybe late registration. I don't remember. Downtown. And I see these girls. It was this group of girls. And I'm like, I want to go talk to them. We were in college. It was in the summer. But I was like, I was always told, never go and ask for a girl's number in front of her friends. You're going to get embarrassed. So you want to know what I did? I told all the girls, if you need help moving, I'll help you move. Let me get your number and then we'll exchange numbers. So I exchanged
And now you won't
numbers.
even take her to Uber.
So
to the
check this
airport.
out. I moved more girls that summer than you could ever imagine. I mean, 5 or 6 people. I mean, but I got the girl.
That's
Brilliant.
good pro tip
You know what I'm
there.
saying? So I'm just like, look, there is a benefit to moving. If you have interest in a young lady, you know, you could, you know. So listen, Emily, if a guy says he wants to
And
help you move,
I'll say I ended up dating that girl I helped move for a while after that too. So there you go. You're right.
Also, counterpoint, maybe just like out of the kindness of your heart, help people when they need help. Just going to put that one out there.
now moving
Do
is
unto
too
others
stressful.
as you'd have them do unto you. I'm not going to ask them to help me move. So
Moving is
Good
too
luck moving
stressful.
everything by yourself.
I got a free pressure washer from my buddy. He
I
wasn't.
did I get free coffee this morning, so it was worth it.
That's not enough.
you know how much they would have spent on an Uber, and then they end up buying you a coffee instead. Come
Okay,
on.
How much do you think an Uber costs?
I don't know. Depends on where they live. $30, 50, depending on where they live.
Yeah, and one cup of coffee, a little bit cheaper.
That's what I'm saying. You got gypped. They
well,
would have
it-
spent $35, and you only got a cup of coffee. You could have gotten a whole breakfast.
Dude,
Sure,
I've done trips where I paid more for the Uber than I did the flight.
Me
Like, he
too.
took-
Me too.
So I get it. I think if you got a friend that is willing.
Surge pricing, New York City, trying to get to the airport. That is no joke.
Oh man, surge pricing in New
Dude.
York City is
Yeah.
treacherous. That thing is bad.
Triple digits.
I was
Yeah.
at a meeting. It got out. I had to leave at 4:30 for a flight. Okay, so I had to go from downtown Manhattan to LaGuardia. Not that far, but it was surge. I'm on the app. There was nobody in the region picking up except for Uber Black. And I'm like, I got to get to the airport. And so I said, I accepted it. Got to the airport, and then after I got out, I got that little thing of what your charge was, $638.
Absolutely not.
You're lying.
Uber Black surge pricing, $638 to go from downtown Manhattan to LaGuardia. I could not believe it. My flight was $300
If only you had a friend who could have taken you to the
Yeah,
airport
exactly.
for free.
in New York, just randomly.
There's a billion people in New York. You don't know one person.
There's no friend that's going to take you to the airport in New York during
Yeah.
rush
That
hour
one was a
traffic.
stretch. That was a
There's
stretch.
not one friend. I don't care how much of a friend.
They'd be like,
Hey,
the
listen.
train goes right there. You can just take the
I'll
subway.
walk with you to the train.
Yeah, why didn't you take the train and then the bus? It's
Dude,
like a train and bus.
It was in
route.
this weird part of downtown, the financial district, where there's not a lot of subways. I couldn't get to a station, and it was like one of those things of like, I've got to get to the airport. I can't risk trying to figure out the subways for the first time to get all the way to LaGuardia. So I was just like, I got to bite the bullet. I didn't think it'd be $600. I thought it'd be like 200, but
My worst public transportation jam was we were in Austin for South by Southwest, and I did not have. I did not know like the lay of the land. Like
flew
I
in
didn't realize
separate.
the distance
Jesse
of
got there
things.
before me and had to navigate Austin by himself. Oh my god!
We were so far from downtown, and I did not realize
We
that.
were up by the Capitol. Our hotel was up on Capitol Hill, and on the other side of downtown from like the convention center and where all the venues were.
And so, but I didn't realize the distance. Okay. Like I thought everything is kind of because I've never been there, and I didn't realize it's so spread out. So I'm like, I need to get to point A to point B. And like, I pulled up the Uber deal, and it was super expensive for the same reasons, right? South by Southwest week in Austin.
Yeah.
And we're on like a college campus, and I see a guy with a rickshaw. Okay. Like a pull behind rickshaw.
I know
Literally.
who you're talking about. Yeah.
I think he was on a bike. It was
a bike rickshaw. It was a pedal
bike
rickshaw.
And so
Pedal cabs, they call them.
yeah,
pedal cabs.
he's like, hey, you need a ride? I was like, yeah.
Those dudes' calves are crazy, by the way.
So we get in, and I tell him where. He's like, oh, really? And I was like, yeah. And like, are you serious? Like, you're going to make me ride that far? It was like 45 minutes.
He got on at the convention center and had to go uphill all the way. The Capitol is like up on a hill.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He had to go uphill for 45 minutes.
Nah, them dudes are gangster. Like, you will never feel more uncomfortable with me and my business partner Doc Watson. We throw events at South by every year. We've been doing it for the past 5 years, and we had to get to an event we were running late for, and same situation, had to hop in a rickshaw. You got two big guys, this big black guy and this big white guy, with this guy in a rickshaw running us across Austin, and it felt very uncomfortable. Listen, I'm not one of those. I'm not a weird dude. I'm not an insensitive dude, but I'm just saying it just felt a little bit weird in the
I bet you
rickshaw.
wish you had a friend in Austin.
Jesse,
I did.
Hey,
I should have called. I didn't. This is before I knew Jamie Ivey. I would have called Jamie Ivey.
Jesse, finish the story.
Well, we're about halfway through to downtown. I was got pretty hungry, and I was like, "Hey, man, pop over here at this Jimmy John's." So
Jesse made him stop. The drive was so far. Jesse made him stop for a snack on the way.
and then like the back half, I'm eating Jimmy John's.
Did you offer him a half?
Pouring sweat. You could tell he was just going around the college campus. He was not expecting like a half day journey.
How much did it cost?
I mean,
did you tip him well?
Not nearly.
That's what I'm saying. Like you told me, it was
like
$10 or something. It
was like he was not prepared for. And then,
did he not know where he was going?
This poor dude.
Like I said, it was so long that I had to eat because I was so hungry. I'd been in that rickshaw so long.
You were working up a sweat sitting in the back seat.
I'm just saying, I didn't think it was going to take that long.
The rickshaws.
Did you offer to like buy him a water or anything?
He had like a Camelback, I think.
Oh my gosh! Anyway,
is Austin the only city that does the rickshaws? I don't really see them a lot in other places.
We have pedal cabs in downtown Orlando. They block all the streets on the part.
New Orleans has pedal cabs.
Yeah.
Well, we got the bikes where they do the bikes, but I'm like, these guys. Like,
the running ones. Yeah, no, we only have pedal cabs. We have bikes. Yeah, we don't.
You do feel like you just feel like a weird human, like having another like physically pull you around town. Like you just feel like I'd be more comfortable if we were in a car, right?
I was like, this ain't right, man. But then me and I'm 6'2". My homeboy is like, he's like 6 foot, and we both are like, hefty dudes. I'm like, bro, like this guy is a beast. Like you know what? The Dallas Cowboys need guys that ride rickshaws on their team. Like, yeah, those guys.
It's a workout. Yeah.
In New York, they drive around and like as you're walking down the sidewalk, they'll pull up and ask you if you need a ride or whatever. And they're like blasting like Lil Jon, like super loud on. I'm like, I do not, and they have like neon lights flashing and stuff. I do not want that kind of attention. I'm just walking to my hotel. Thank you very much. Anyway, all right, we have a great show in store for you. Coming up later, we have Anike, who is an amazing artist. She has a new album coming out, but you know her as Wande. She has gone through a name change, and we talked to her about that and her kind of new season as an artist and in her faith. It's really cool. It's a very cool story. Don't miss that. At the end of the show, we actually have, this is a perfect segue to what we have planned for the end of the show. People are going back to campus right now. We have a Life Advice Campus Edition segment coming up where you guys have sent in questions for the cast as you're going back to college this fall. So we have some great advice for you. Mainly don't help your friends move into their dorms. But stay tuned.
Unless you're trying to date one of them.
That's right. But stay tuned right now. Up next, it's Slices. You're listening to Be a Bad Doobie. The song is Beaches. Well, today's show is brought to you in part by Wired to Fish Coffee. So many companies are not rooted in Christian principles nowadays. However, they do exist. Meet Wired to Fish Coffee. Founded by Christian anglers who are crazy about the love of Jesus for his people, Wired to Fish Coffee gives back 25% of their net profits to faith-based programs and clean water initiatives. Wired to Fish Coffee also offers a smooth, robust taste rivaling any coffee shop brew. Give Wired to Fish Coffee a try today and join a community of people making a positive impact. Use code WeCare at wired2fishcoffee.com at checkout and get an additional bag for free. You can make a difference. Again, that's wired2fishcoffee.com. Okay, it's time for
Slices.
What do you have, Jesse?
All right, so there's a new tech product that's been getting a lot of attention this week. It's called Friend, and it is an AI companion. Basically, it's like a necklace with a small device at the end, and it can listen to you and it hears what you're doing and can respond to you via text. So in an ad for this device, someone goes for a long run, right? And they're like, whew, man, this was a good one. We finally made it. And then here, ding. And the friend device is like, yeah, good job today on this run, or somebody's like playing video games and his buddy's talking trash and the phone beeps and it's like, you are really getting thrashed in this video game, dude. Or someone's like eating a falafel and it is like, oh, this is so good. I needed the lunch break. And friend texts them and says, how's the falafel or whatever, right? Like it is the saddest, loneliest thing I've ever seen.
Oh my gosh.
But the reason it's gaining so much attention isn't just because it seems so like the ad, even the music looks like a Black Mirror episode, as many people have noted. But the reason it's getting so much attention is because much of the product development money went to the domain where they're selling this device from, friend.com. I don't know how much went into the device, but the individual whose brainchild this is spent $1.8 million just for the domain.
For the web URL?
Just for friend.com.
Oh, he raised $2.5 million of fundraising for the entire company and spent 1.8 on the domain.
No.
That's what.
No, he did not do that.
That's the news.
But in his defense, everybody's talking about it, right? Like if he hadn't have spent all that money, it wouldn't be that newsworthy. But now everybody's checking out the device. I can't bash the guy. Like
I can.
You can't?
I don't know. He's getting international news headlines. Okay, like this is covered in news outlets around the world.
Maybe spend more money on the idea itself.
That's the thing. He is generating like news about him, but from what I've seen, no one's been like, "Wow, I can't wait to buy this friend device." Like everyone's like, "This is sad and terrible," and also I feel sad that you wasted so much money on a domain. Like, who cares?
And I'm on the website right now it's pre-order. First of all, this doesn't exist yet. And it's this dumb looking eyeball hanging off a necklace. And to have it listen to you, you have to press its eyeball button. You have to press it.
You got to activate it.
Like, it's not, I mean, what's the point of this? This is so dumb.
It's a friend.
Nah, bro.
Can you take me to the airport? And it could text you. Like, no, you can call an Uber. We're not that kind of friend.
I'll call you an Uber. That's what I'll say.
I don't even know if it can do that. I think it just texts you. I don't think it's like a personal assistant.
This is one of the most useless dystopian devices. That
we
have some dystopian devices. This one's one of the useless ones, though. It's like, what problem are we solving here? Like, I don't know.
Oh, okay. So you don't have to. Okay, so the picture is misleading. The picture was the lady pressing it and it lit up.
Yeah, that's what it is in the video.
But it also has always listening. So when connected via Bluetooth, your friend is always listening and forming their own internal thoughts. We have given your friend free will for when they decide to reach out to you. So there's two modes, I guess.
I'm scared.
So dumb.
It doesn't seem like there's a big market for this.
Society is going to have to start asking,
weirdos.
not can we, but should we? Like, do we need to do stuff like this?
We should have asked that a couple years ago.
There you go. You beat me to the punch, Emily.
Yeah. We should have been asking that for decades at this point.
Yeah. All right. What do you have, Derek?
There's a neighborhood in Texas that is 3D printing homes. And the neighborhood's already almost complete. So they don't have a lot of details on it, but it looks really, really dope as far as there's like a huge 3D printer. I've never, like, this thing is big and it's literally just going back and forth. They got one construction guy that's just overseeing the printing of the house. So this is some tech that I'm like, man, that's interesting. My only worry now is like, is it gonna, like, how long will this house last? Like,
I don't know
about this.
Yeah.
I don't know about this neighborhood, but I've been watching this develop for a few years because it's actually some of the stuff some of the early 3D printing habitat stuff we were reporting on 5 years ago was that this was going to be potentially a game-changing solution for like third world countries to get affordable housing and more secure housing. And it's at that point 5 years ago, it looked like kind of like a concrete solution coming out.
Yes, that's exactly what it looks like.
So it was like concrete. I mean, so it's gonna be a very, very solid house. Also, in the space industry, this is the technology that they're going to be deploying to build habitats on the moon and Mars. That before the humans would go, years before, they would ship out all these 3D printers to land. They would go and get all the dirt and rocks off of the ground and turn it into 3D printed. And it would like build the entire habitat before the humans arrived. So like that's the other strategy with this.
For those that are listening, if you go look up these houses, they look like stuff we would have saw in a like Christopher Nolan movie. Like if Christopher Nolan was writing a movie about houses in the future, I think they would look like this. They look pretty cool, though. I'm not even going to lie. They look pretty dope.
Does it say how long it takes to build like one house?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
It's days.
We can look it up, though.
It's days, not hours, not years.
Yeah.
I mean, it's days.
But I mean, days is like that's
still
so quick.
crazy.
Yeah.
And you have to, there's human intervention. They have to put in the plumbing, the electrical, and that kind of stuff. But as far as the structure, yes.
All right, here we go. I just looked it up. It says 24 hours to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about like, I guess, I don't know, like there's been, I think a couple tornadoes or whatever, but like for like natural disasters, like when a house gets torn down, it's like, if you can just 3D print a house within a week, then you're like good to go. Obviously, getting all the plumbing and stuff. Like, I think that could be like a really big game changer, like for people who are in need of housing right away. So
question is the cost too. Like what is that's what I want to know is like what's the price point? Because I think right now you'd be paying more for the fact that there's a huge 3D printer coming. You're right. Than the actual materials it takes to make. So that would be the big
it's very early adopter tech right now, which is the expensive time for
which is why it's in Austin.
Yeah. But it really could.
It is. Yeah.
It could have far-reaching impact, though. I mean, especially like if they can figure out how to scale this and make affordable housing for countries where it's not possible, that could be a game changer for humanity. So.
Man, we're gonna need affordable housing here with this inflation.
True.
Yeah.
True. All right. What do you have, Emily?
Okay. I feel like I talk about this a lot, and I just think it's because I need to talk about it. But I mean, dating apps absolutely trash these days. We've well documented that. Right. I've well documented that on this.
Well,
podcast.
you're keeping us in the loop because you're talking to 3 people who have never been on one. So
never.
Yeah, who've never had to be blessed with being on dating apps.
No, I've chosen loneliness other than going into those apps.
Cameron has an AI companion.
I have a little necklace. My necklace keeps me company.
Wearable.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it's like I've talked about this before. Like, it's just bad, and people are getting desperate. Like Cameron, who's relying on this AI friend now. It's not too far.
No, it's not too far. Wait, it's no different than back in the day. Like Game Boys had like little Furby companion, not Furby, but like the little companion pets and stuff.
Tamagotchi?
Yeah, it's no different than that, is it? I don't know.
A little different. Anyways, people are getting creative.
I think those could die. I think those could die of neglect. I don't think the necklace will.
No, because I remember in elementary school, it was like if you were going away and your parents like wouldn't let you take it, you would give it to your friend so that they could take care of the Tamagotchi all weekend.
Well, it's not always the Tamagotchi wasn't always listening. So that's
True.
one thing.
Yeah, a little different.
And it wasn't autonomous in when it decides to text you or not. So
it's true.
Yeah.
That is
making judgments about your loneliness.
Your life's choices from listening to you.
Yeah, a little different. Anyways, point is that people are just trying to get creative with finding love. And there's one guy in Philadelphia that I want to give a shout out to. His name is Dave, and he recently purchased a billboard in Philadelphia that just says, "Dave is single. Want to go on a date with Dave? Here's his information on Instagram," and sending him a message. So I'm going to send it to y'all. So
we posted this, and the guy is on the billboard. There's a picture of himself doing a big thumbs up. Like he's like, "Hey, everybody, date me." And
Dave got money.
Has it worked?
It has worked because he said that he's gotten a lot of messages on the app, sometimes just from people being like, "Hey man, supporting you, hope you find love," but other ones who somewhat seem interested. He said there's also been some people who are just like, they just want to say that they like had a connection with the billboard guy. So it is working for him. I'll give it to him. But
I got to be honest. This sounds like the plot of like an early aughts rom-com. Like I could see like
maybe that's why I love it.
Like this could be like a Matthew McConaughey movie from like 2002. Like Date Dave this summer. He's the billboard everyone's talking about. You know.
How did he come up with the idea? Didn't he say it was like his buddies, they were going to like, it was going to be a prank billboard or something?
Well, yeah, he and his friends would just talk about like, I guess they looked into how much it costs to buy a billboard and it wasn't that expensive. I think it's, depending on size and where it's at, all this stuff. Like, it does not look like it's in a prime spot.
He is definitely in an industrial area, and it's like one of those half-size billboards. It's like a weird shape, and then he paying still like $1,800 a month or something.
So and he didn't say how long he'll keep it up, but before it was just going to be a joke one, and then at the end he was like, "Well, might as well use it to my advantage and try to get a date."
Cameron, do you remember? And again, I remember it came up in a meeting. We briefly entertained. We used to do like a fake award ceremony on the podcast called Oscars.biz. And it was
because we felt the Hollywood establishment did not honor the entertainment that we enjoyed. They did all their serious movies and TV shows. We thought reality TV and fringe internet humor should be awarded as well. So we
was really ahead of our time. Yeah. But we bought the domain Oscars.biz where people could go and vote for who should win in different categories.
Did you pay $1.5 million for it?
We paid $9.99 at GoDaddy.com.
But I remember in a meeting briefly entertaining just this, like finding a random place in the country and buying a billboard that just said Oscars.biz, had a picture of a top hat and said Hollywood's biggest night with no context, and just erect that billboard, just some random location. I remember even looking up like how much is a billboard in like Des Moines. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we never pulled the trigger. But
because we did look into it, and I think the lowest we found on like a rural highway was like $400 a month, and I was like, this just isn't worth the joke. You know, it's like, you know. So anyway, it was funny.
Yeah. Well, good for Dave.
Good for Dave. It worked for him. I like thinking out of the box, showing ingenuity. Good for him. Yeah. All right, that'll do it for Slices. Stay tuned. Up next, Anike joins us.
Okay, I'll see you around. I just tuned out the alarms with their
You're listening to Bright Eyes and Alex Orange Drink. The song is Rainbow Overpass. Well, today's show is brought to you in part by World Vision. We all subscribe to a lot of services that make our lives easier and more entertaining. But as followers of Jesus, we should want to seek first the kingdom of God in all areas of life, including our spending. That's why I'm so excited about a new kind of subscription through World Vision. Not one for myself, but for others. It's called Believers for World Change. And when you sign up, you're joining a community of change makers working to help end extreme poverty around the world and here at home. World Vision is a Christian humanitarian organization that works with children, families, and communities to reach their God-given potential, focusing on things like gender equality, spiritual nurture, and access to clean water, education, job training, and healthcare, so the entire picture of poverty can be addressed. Let's subscribe to something new together. Subscribe to World Change today at worldvision.org. Again, that's worldvision.org. Well, our guest today is Anike, but you may know her better as Wande. The Christian hip-hop artist recently changed her name, and that's not the only thing changing about her. We sat down to talk about the major transformation going on in her life and what the next season will look like. Here's our conversation with Anike.
Well, since we spoke last, you've made a pretty significant change. You no longer go by Wande, but instead have changed your name to Anike. Why did you want to make that change?
Yeah, so I changed my name because I felt led by God just to changed my name. Like we had, some alone time, me and Jesus. And I just feel like in that moment, the Lord was telling me, hey, let's revisit some things from your past. And so one of those things was my name. And so growing up, actually, most of my family wasn't Christian. So if you're not Christian, you're not thinking about whenever you name a child, like, oh, yeah, let's pick a Christian name. So because of that, a lot of my names, one of them reflected like Muslim culture. And then another one reflected reincarnation and stuff like that, because like people practice like African spirituality. And so because of that, yeah, the Lord was like, hey, let's bring those things to my remembrance. And so one that he highlighted was like Mutiyat, which is my birth name, which means devotion to Allah. That's a Muslim name. And then Ye Wande. So Ye means the mother, and then Wande means has come back. And so that one was the one that reflected like reincarnation. And so the Lord just kind of let me know, hey, we're going into a new season of life. And so I've been redeemed by being born again. But with this new season, he just wanted me to let go of the names as well and just like bring something new where everything was honoring to him. And so I was actually able to talk to my mom, and we're able to pray and fast together, and she was able to give me some new names. And so then that's where my new names came from.
And how did you decide on Anike?
Yeah, so he specifically was like, I want you to go by Anike. And I was like, okay, Lord. And so I think as of recently, I've been sharing with like my husband and like my team, like God has been showing every single time when the Holy Spirit says something like that feels small, that there was a big reason. So I think I've been learning more and more like to just trust whenever I hear his voice. So he's like, I felt like that was a name he said, hey, go by it. I even recorded it whenever I felt like I heard it, so that way I wouldn't back out. And then other than that, I hyphened it with some other names that my mom had given me. And so Anike is hyphened with Ireolua, which is one of my middle names. And so it means, Ireolua means the goodness of God. And then Anike means someone you cherish, care for. And so together, it's like the goodness of God. We have someone to cherish, care for, and not take for granted. And so to me, it just really reminds me to view myself how God views me, and to view myself like just, the way that the Lord wants me to be, and just to like look like the goodness of God everywhere I go. But I'll never leave me.
I'm sure when you made that decision, it was something you had to talk about with your team, since, you're already an established artist. How has everyone, including your fans, reacted to this change?
Yeah, honestly, people have been like really supportive with everything, like, which I'm so grateful for, because like, that's all you can ask for, like, for people to be supportive whenever you feel like God is asking you to do something that's outside of your comfort zone. And yeah, I've just been like really grateful because of that. And I think it's really cool because it shows the importance of like building your foundation on Christ. And so with that, like even my job, I built my foundation on like, hey, I want my job to reflect the love of God and to reflect Christ. So a lot of my fans and supporters, they're people who love God. So it's like, hey, if God told you to do something, then we're still rocking with it. So I think that's cool because I didn't build my foundation on like a worldly platform. People were able to understand like, oh yeah, that definitely makes sense. Like, you gotta listen to what the Holy Spirit's telling you to do. So I feel like that was really helpful with my new transition, my new change. I'm not gonna sit around and let the session by the day. That's why we gotta pray, because things they gotta change. I won't accept the life that's not the one for me.
I know you recently announced you're working on your next project, which is going to be called Anike. Is this going to be about all the change you've gone through over the last year?
Yeah, so this new album, it basically will walk people through like my life, everything I've been through over like the past year. So been through a lot, I had a season of depression. I had a season where a lot of things were just weighing on me, and God was really trying to urge me to be bold and to speak and to do all these things, but I was holding a lot of things inside. And to the point that like my body actually physically shut down and my jaw would no longer open. And it was crazy. Like that was a crazy season to even reflect back. But with that, I had to make a decision of like, am I going to lean on God and let go of everything he wants me to let go, including people, tell the truth, even if it like hurts people's feelings, just different things like that. And so I was able to finally just be like, okay, physically, my body is even shutting down. So either I'm going to like submit to like the failure and the depression, or I'm going to be victorious and be who God tells me to be. And so, yeah, I was like, I'm not going out like this. So I leaned into who God was telling me to be, started having hard conversations with people, started like advocating for myself more. Even like there was moments where I did advocate for myself and I felt like, you know, I was still not stood up for when I advocated for myself, which also was causing like the depression and stuff like that. But God just told me to even speak up for myself again and show me that he will even come and support me and help find people to help me along the way. And so it was beautiful, like that God really came through, did a breakthrough in my life. And so I would just walk people through that season, what it looked like to have that breakthrough, what it looked like to, you know, walk in confidence, what it looked like to, even after I got my confidence, came back to life, you know, got rid of the depression, all that, what it looked like to forgive people who may have wronged you in the past, what it looks like to, not carry around bitterness and anger, because even that can weigh you down whenever you're in your new chapter. So just looking at what it looks like to really just be a child of God, walking in freedom, not holding wrongs over people's heads, but forgiving over and over and over, and continue to rise even when a lot of things might be trying to weigh you down.
If God is for me, who can come against me? Send them prayers up and watch him move. Send that thing up, let it rain down. Send that thing up, rain down. Send that thing up, don't make me call it rain down. Send that thing up, let it rain down.
I'm from the H, never been a fan of fakes.
It definitely sounds like you've been through a lot. I'm curious, how did you find like the hope and courage to get out of that season?
Yeah, honestly, it was God. So I actually recently released a song called Pray For Me. And that's also one of the reasons as well. Like I had beautiful friends who were praying for me along the season, and as well as like my husband as well. And so it's really that, like I had my journaling. So I would journal. I had a therapist who's also a Christian. So that was dope because she would pray for me as well. And I think the combination of that, like journaling, talking to God, and then having solid community around who would pray for me during that season helped me to have the confidence. And like the Lord heard the prayers, the Lord saw me, and so he didn't allow me to like drown and be overtaken by sadness, but he allowed me to be pulled out. And so I feel like that's how I was able to make it through. And then reading the Word of God, I feel like the Word of God has so many Bible verses of people who went through similar seasons, like David and stuff like that. And where they talk about like, hey, I was here, but the Lord saw me. And, you know, there was another brighter day. There was joy in the morning. So just different things like that helped me to see like there was other people who went through things like that as well. So this is not the end, and to remember that there's another day. And so that's even what I talk about in my song Pray For Me, where I talk about like, you know, I'm still alive today, so my story is not complete. There's like my blessings are still on the way. So just knowing like God, if he's still waking you up, it's not over. Even if it seems impossible to see joy again, like everything just seems cloudy, like there's a sun beyond all the clouds that are like shading your mind right now.
Send that thing up, let it rain down. Send that thing up, let it rain down. Heard they calling me, let it rain down. Send that thing.
How has this new season of life been for you?
Yeah, I would say it's really refreshing. Walking in confidence, walking in boldness. I think it's also walking in my full self. I think I've learned just so many lessons on like what it means to truly love somebody. So I think sometimes, you know, if you have like a people pleaser syndrome, you might think, you know, loving someone means just like doing whatever they say, or, you know, just, you know, not hurting their feelings, just being like super nice. But God has taught me that like, no, like truly loving someone means like just walking in truth. So truth is just truth. And so however someone receives that is, you know, kind of up to them. But the truly loving thing is just to tell the truth always. So even if the truth may hurt someone's feelings, it's better because at least you're leading them to light, you know, or even if the truth may make you uncomfortable and be like, oh, well, you know, I don't want that person to get in trouble, or I don't want blah, blah. It's like the truth is always better because that's how people grow. That's how people can develop into who God really wants them to be. And that's how you can flourish too, because I've learned God designed us all in a unique way. Like even me, like being Nigerian, immigrating to the United States, being a female rapper, all those different things. He designed me in a specific way to where if I don't even express those things in my music as well, there's other people who have a similar experience who may never realize that they have someone to relate to. Even like growing up too, like my father being Muslim, like, so people don't realize like, oh, there's somebody else who went through what I went through and they still were able to find God out of that. So I think he's been showing me just fully walk in exactly who he's made me to be, and fully just walk in, you know, being bold enough to say the truth even whenever you're uncomfortable, and to read the truth so that way you know what the truth is in the Word of God as well.
That was Anike. Make sure to check out her new singles. She's released 4 of them. And keep your eye out for her new album, which releases on August 30th. All right, stay tuned. Up next is Life Advice Campus Edition. You're listening to Cato. The song is Carry You. Well, Relevant has a lot happening this year, and we don't want you to miss a thing. Make sure to sign up for our newsletter right there on the front page at relevantmagazine.com, and we'll send you our top 5 trending stories sent to your inbox every weekday. We'll also send you a weekly podcast newsletter with the latest episodes, some fan extras, and first peeks at the new shows that we're going to be rolling out throughout this year. Make sure to sign up. It's the best way to keep in touch with everything we got going on. All right. Well, it is the time of year that everybody's heading back to campus, and with a new year comes new challenges, new questions, and so we figured we would turn it to you guys. We want to help you out however we can. So it's time for
It's Life Advice Campus Edition.
Life Advice Campus Edition. Okay, so you guys hit us up, and I'll read a few of the questions to the cast, and we'll help you through your journey in this next semester. Here we go. Serena Harris, 23, says, I'm entering my junior year at the University of Wyoming. I signed up for a rock climbing course. Well, that makes sense. Which I've been wanting to do for a few years now. Unfortunately, it's so popular that I just found out it's full this semester, so I got placed into Intro to Beekeeping. Should I stick it out or accept my new life path?
I'm going stick it out.
Stick it out.
I'm
Beekeeping.
saying stick it out. Stick
Real
it
talk.
out. But at minimum, you get fresh honey. You figure out how to make fresh honey.
Okay.
And you just taught yourself an amazing light skill. But also bees are becoming endangered. We forgot about that, remember?
That's right.
So it's like,
Monarchs
Right, we got to
and
save
bees.
the bees.
yeah,
Well-
so we got to save the bees. So you might actually be saving the world. So I
right,
think
Serena.
the
No
reason
pressure.
why you're in beekeeping is for this moment. I
It's
think
divine plan.
it's the divine plan.
Such
I
a
think
moment
you
as
stay.
this.
Hey, real talk. That same dude I was talking about earlier, the moving guy, I ran into him the other day.
Yeah.
And he's like, dude, I'm getting into beekeeping. Check this out. And he pulls up videos of him extracting the queen. He's the whole beekeeper. He's got the smoke gun. I'm like, bro, this is awesome. Like, if someone walks up to you and go, hey, you want to see a video of me extracting the queen from a hive? You're saying, yeah, it's awesome.
For
Stick
sure.
with it.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I think you'll have fun with it. I accidentally signed up for a Harry Potter philosophy course one time. I thought I was signing up for something else. So ended up being a great semester. Got to give a presentation on centaurs.
Wait, you did?
had fun.
Wait. You didn't? Okay, so what were you trying to sign up for?
I was trying to sign up for philosophy and science fiction, which would have been about like Star Wars, Star Trek, Lord of the Rings, like more different stuff like that. But the professors, so there's 2 courses of philosophy and science fiction taught by professors with the same last name because they're married. I thought I was signing up for the one who taught general one. The other one only teaches Harry Potter. So like we get into class, and I took it with one of my best friends who was like minoring in philosophy, so he should have known, but whatever. But we get like the syllabus, and on the required reading list, all it is the books, the Harry Potter books. That was the only required reading we had to do. And we were like, wait a second. What are we signing up for? And then like halfway through the class, we realized, oh, this is just Harry Potter the whole time.
That's funny.
It was a great semester.
Yeah.
right.
Sounds
Yeah.
like.
Happy accidents, you know?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Chris Thorne asks, if I join, oh, this got to be a joke, please. If I join the campus LARP club or LARPing club, will it hurt my chances of finding a serious relationship?
Yes, it will.
No. I don't see how it would have any effect at all.
Live
your dreams,
your
man.
truth. Yeah. Chase your dreams.
You might find your bride on the LARPing club, you know?
The fact that you're considering it, it's pretty well settled how the romantics life's going here. So
Mike Thompson asks, what's the best way to politely decline an invite to a 6 a.m. Bible study without sounding like a heathen?
I ain't
just tell
going to
them-
that.
you just say, I got to take a friend to the airport. Can't go.
Hey, yeah. I just say I ain't going. Sorry, y'all.
Sorry. All right. Sarah Mae Jones. Any tips for making friends, especially as an introvert?
There's this great new device. And if you don't like it, if it's too expensive, you can try putting out a billboard that says, "Hey, I need a friend. Here's my number."
Yeah, 2 ways. In this episode, there's 2 ways. Okay. David P88 says, I need a little extra money this semester. What's the best campus job I should go for?
Definitely being a mover.
Yeah. You meet people all over town.
I worked for Motor Pool, the campus Motor Pool, which was like we took care of the fleet of vans and university stuff. So we'd have to change oil, we'd have to clean them, whatever. But we also got to like pick up university guests at the airport and stuff. So that was fun because 90% of the time we were on the clock. We were hanging out in the office watching Price is Right. And then 10% of the time you're out, doing some oil changes and stuff. So I enjoyed that.
I did the same thing. I worked for Motor Pool too. And to your point,
Really?
while you're waiting for the flight to come in, we brought an Xbox down there and we'd play, mostly played video games for that job.
I did beer concessions at a soccer game, soccer games, but I don't know. I was under 18, so I don't know if I was even supposed to be serving like beer. But I did
You were
it.
under 18 because you can be 18 and serve at a restaurant.
Okay, well, cool. Yeah, we were 18. We were 18 or under 21. My bad.
Yeah.
But we actually made the newspaper because it was me, my homeboy TJ, and my homeboy Josh, because we would sing 90s R&B to people. So we'd sing like Boys to Men and all that kind of stuff. I made so many tips. People were so mad. Then other people started singing, but they couldn't sing good as us because we was doing music. So, hey, look, concession stands if you can do it, but you got to be able to sing.
I was a note taker for disability services. Not as exciting as y'all's, but I went to classes with students who were like blind and deaf and literally just took notes for them. But I got to take some interesting classes, like kind of for free.
That's dope.
AI has replaced that job now because it can listen, take notes, and like everything you would have done as a note taker.
Yeah. Well, good luck sitting through a seeds class because I had to sit through that one. That one was not fun, but
that's funny.
What are you gonna do?
All right, not Rachel Adams says I'm rooming with my best friend, and she and I have different standards for cleanliness for the dorm bathroom. Is it wrong to leave passive aggressive notes, or should I organize a full blown intervention?
You gotta leave.
Well, she's not even moved in yet. I mean, she's thinking like
find another roommate. It's not gonna work.
No,
it's not gonna work.
I don't think either. I don't think you need a full blown intervention or passive aggressive notes. What's wrong with people? Just say, "Hey, can you clean up?" I don't think it requires
it's not gonna
either.
work.
I think you just have a normal conversation.
Not gonna work. When I was
I
dating,
vote passive aggressive notes. That's always fun.
No, just
that
listen,
escalates.
Rachel or not Rachel, don't do it. I know she's your friend. Don't do it. You're not going to be friends when this is over with.
That's the same. It's like she's your friend now. She won't be in 4 months.
Preserve the friendship. Yeah. Like my wife and this girl, they fell out because she was very, very unclean, and it was bad. Like it was really, really bad. Like. And you wouldn't think somebody as pretty as she was this unclean. So I'm just going to say.
It's always a shocker. It's always the pretty ones.
It's just like, dang, girl, like you look like when you're outside of the house, it's like, ooh,
you look
she's like fine, man. When we walked into their dorm, I was like, what happened? And she's like, it's my roommate. She was so embarrassed and so mad. And I'm just like, you don't want that.
Yeah,
you don't want that. So
it's true. I'd be hesitant to move in with like your best friend. Like, it's like the old adage, good fences make good neighbors. Kind of same kind of deal with the like you might just take a little space here. Find somebody else. Put up a billboard seeking a roommate.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
It's Laura Carter says, how do I handle it when my roommate's idea of decorating our dorm is hanging up motivational posters with cheesy quotes? So this is Laura. Thank her. So, but hold on, is this home goods cheesy quotes like live, laugh, love, or is this like inspirational, like motivational
either
quotes
way.
of like
either way?
Like the ones that used to be in the library at school or something.
Yeah, or 1980s offices. It's like successories.
I'm assuming it's like the Hobby Lobby. Like she went to Hobby Lobby and just bought every cheesy thing you could possibly find.
Yeah,
and I think you just cover hers with like really, really dope posters.
I say you battle it out. I would like, if you're going to go that route, I'm going to hang up like WWE posters and just like, and if you want me to take mine down, then we're going to talk about yours.
I don't think Laura Carter is into WWE. Maybe she is.
I'm not going to put her in a box.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Last one. Here we go. Jake Miller Light. Oh, that's funny. My frat is rivals with the frat next door, and we want to pull an epic prank on them this semester. Any ideas?
So this
Let's
is
sit out on this one.
Yeah.
rival.
You got the right one, Jesse. It's
I mean, where do you begin? Like, I wish I
Jesse
had.
and Cameron, you got him.
No, I was not the Jesse's the instigator on the dorm and the frat.
Cameron's behind them going, yeah.
I was
Yeah,
just
Cameron's
I was subjected to him most of the time. I was like,
I think. Look,
You in the
I think
LARPing club?
it depends on your time and resources. There's too many variables here. But if this were me, because it's a frat house, I think your best option is stage a full blown haunting over the course of the semester. Like I'm talking. You heard me.
Yes.
Full blown haunting.
That's why he gets paid
Like-
the big bucks right here.
That is next. It's psychological terror, is what it is. Like,
okay.
Can you give an
First-
example of like how to do it?
Oh, I mean, there's many ways to do it, but I would start by voices in the night.
Okay.
I would hide speakers in places that have like creepy voices.
Okay.
And you got to slow play this. The haunting doesn't happen instantly. Like this isn't like
So why not just stick like some fish in their air ducts and then
No.
you're not even around.
Child's play.
This is like I said, you sneak in there and you put the speakers and you ghost voices in different rooms, and then you kind of, just casually make conversation and be like, yeah, man, it's crazy about the murders that happened in that house a couple years ago. You
So dumb.
plant the
Oh
seeds.
my God.
Lights flickering, blood dripping down the
You got
walls.
it.
Is the one
You
night.
got it.
I got
I'm
you.
telling you,
Okay.
stage a full blown haunting.
All right.
It is.
At what point do you admit that it's like a prank though?
Never.
don't.
You can't
You
ever.
don't.
You can't.
Oh, you take
You
it to the
don't.
grave. Okay.
Jesse, I am
they have a
so
great
glad
story
you're on our
forever.
side, bro. I'm glad that God saves you, bro. Like I don't even want to know what unredeemed Jesse would be.
Jesse, when you guys did things
jail.
like with the other floors in our dorm where like
Yeah.
we had tile hallways and metal doors, which were like an inch off the ground. So did
prison?
you guys ever do the trash cans full of water and you pour it down their hall and it like floods under the doors? Did you ever do that?
We would do better. We would lean
You'd lean it on the door.
We'd lean the trash can full of water on the door.
Got it.
And usually it was an RA. And we I remember one time doing it and said, hurry, there's a fight out in the hall. We called him like, hey, you got to get out here. And he throws the door open in the middle of the night. Just a whole trash can full of water goes. And
Did you ever? Here's my question. This is more
that
about
was easy though. That was
This is about
easy.
the haunting question. Did you ever fess up to that? Did they ever know it was you?
I'm sure they knew. I don't
do
think I
now.
ever fessed up, but I don't think they had any doubts of who was responsible.
My friend he got really ticked off with the guys next door because they played music all night, and so we remember on our dorm we had like those honeycomb trellises going up, the mid-century kind of thing going up by the windows. He went in their room while they were at class one day and opened their window. Right, it was like the fall, the squirrels were jumping around the trellises, and he put like peanut butter and food on their windowsill so the squirrels would go into their dorm room. And so they came back from class and their room was like full of like squirrels that had like come in there because he put food out and stuff.
We released wildlife. That was. I mean, we released several ducks in a guy's room one time that we took from Lake Evelyn.
Where did y'all go to college?
Or Roberts University.
My
you
favorite-
Christian school.
My favorite, dude, and ducks poop a lot. Like a shocking amount.
And
but
those
like,
campus ducks are not nice. They're mean ducks. Yeah.
they're swamp ducks.
Did you get in trouble? Did you ever get suspended in college?
Campus. What,
Oh, yeah.
What
I
does
got
that mean?
campused. Well, it's a Christian university, residential campus. And so we had like rules, right? So if you got in trouble, they said the wages of sin is $50 at ORU. So like if you broke any rules, you get a $50 fine. If that wasn't enough or you got too many $50 fines, you would get grounded. They call it being campused, and you couldn't leave your dorm room for 24 hours or something like that. So Jesse got campused.
Yeah, many times.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. Well, yeah. Well, there's more questions you guys sent in. It's going to be apparently an eventful semester for a lot of you. So glad we could help out. That'll do it for.
It's live. Advice capacitation.
Well, before we wrap things up, I want to thank Anike for joining us today. Make sure to check out her new singles and grab her new album. You can pre-save it right now if you go over on Spotify or Apple Music. It comes out August 30th. Also, make sure to check out issue 115 of Relevant. We have a great cover story with Letitia Wright. We have amazing features with great bands like Colony House, Judah and the Lion, change agents and stars like Maya Moore. It's an awesome issue. And you can read the web version for free. Just go click on the magazine tab at relevantmagazine.com. It's available there. And if you want the beautifully designed digital magazine, it's part of Relevant Plus. You can get Relevant Plus for as low as $250 a month. You not only get the magazine, you get ad-free unlimited reading at relevantmagazine.com, an ad-free version of this podcast, and more. Go check it out. You can sign up right there at the website. Okay, on that note, we'll wrap it up. I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Jesse Carey.
I'm Derek Miner.
I'm Emily Brown.
We'll see you on Friday. Have a great week, everyone.
I'm just picturing that frat waking up one morning, and for some reason, right in the middle of the floor, there's like a Ouija board. Like, who left this here last night?
Furniture is just like moved ever so slightly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who rearranged the living room? I didn't.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Why? Who put this odd black and white photo of an elderly couple on the mantle? Like, this is getting weird.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That's crazy. Have fun.
Thanks for listening to the Relevant Podcast. Check out our features, interviews, and news updates every day at relevantmagazine.com. And make sure to follow Relevant on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for the latest. For more great podcasts, browse the shows on the Relevant Podcast Network, which you can find at our site. And while you're there, don't miss the all-new era of Relevant Magazine. A new issue releases every other month at relevantmagazine.com.
I got to take a friend to the airport.
Relevant Podcast Network.